What's up, guys? In this video I'm going to talk about these wonderful things. These are Unifi access points by Ubiquiti. These are really good for homes and small businesses, and this part I'm just going to talk about why, like everything about them you need to know. Part 2 is setting up the software on them, getting the Wi-Fi all set up and ready to go. Part 3 is placement, how do you install it on the wall, ceiling, whatever. But yeah, so this does nothing but provide Wi-Fi. It's so you're still going to need a router, though it's not an issue. I like to recommend the the Comcast gateway, so they support your internet for you. But yeah, these things are incredible. So this is from Ubiquiti. I like the company a lot because they make enterprise Wi-Fi gear that is just insanely easy to use and set up. Believe it or not, the company was made up from a ton of Apple ex-engineers, so that's kind of why you get that simplicity. You kind of notice that whole era, why these are so really cool. So kind of common trend. But yeah, so I know the company has gone through a lot of issues, a lot of heat, because they've had issues with their firmware, the routers and such, and they've had a data breach. So yeah, there's some problems. But if I'm going to be very honest, I cannot say enough about the Wi-Fi Gear. It is fantastic. I've owned this unit, this is the AC Pro, for well over 5 years, 3 different homes, and I've never had an issue. And I cannot say the same about consumer routers. Even a brand that I kind of somewhat trust, like Netgear, have had firmware issues that you got to reboot the router to get the Wi-Fi back up and running at full speed again. It's just like, come on, man, like why? And not for nothing too, there's a lot of other options out there like mesh Wi-Fi, and that's just also very problematic because each Wi-Fi node, you've got the main router and then you've got the little mesh that it connects to. They connect to each other through Wi-Fi, which is not that kind of reliable. Although these do have a meshing mechanism too. They're better preferred to install through a hardwired connection, and it's just really good. Not for nothing, Ubiquiti does have a consumer line called Amplify HD, but I still like these specific units. You just can get so much out of them, and especially if you have a brand new home and the drywall isn't up yet, you can tell your builder to just run Cat 6 network cable up on the ceiling. I'll talk more about that in part 3, placement, or your home theater guy. But yeah, like this is just, I cannot say enough about these things, and they're gonna get the job done. Like I said, if you want the best home Wi-Fi, something that you could even tweak, this is super easy to use. You literally can use an iPhone app to tweak and configure the Wi-Fi. Best part, I don't know if I mentioned this, but you only have to run one cable to these things, period. So you've got these network cables. You either supply power through a PoE injector or a switch with built-in PoE standard. It's power over Ethernet. It sends a low voltage signal on top of the network signals in the network cable to power these things up. Very low voltage, so it's not going to like burn a hole in your ceiling. So you've got one port going to your home network, and the other point PoE goes to the unit. Plug it up, and you're good to go. So like I said, you could put this on the ceiling. Actually, even on the top floor, you can run it through the attic. But yeah, you don't have to run more than one cable. You're all set with this thing. So I think that's about it. Let me know if you guys have any questions, anything I can answer. Drop it in the description below. Like I said, there's probably other people out there who can do a better job describing the routers, but this is like the easiest do-it-yourself guide to setting these things up, these glorious Wi-Fi units in your home.